Hello everyone and welcome to a new ATFX video. My name is Gonzalo Cañete and I'm here one more time to give you a quick, deep and fresh update of the gold market, and especially related with all the events happens during the last few weeks, geopolitical events, central banks movements. We also have been seeing like the trade war threats by Donald Trump, tariffs, many movements in the side of Forex market affecting the gold by reaction. So I want to share with you a quick view on all of these points, but also with certain details that you cannot forget. And at the end of the video, as always, I'm going to share with you also the charts with the projection of the potential price movements. Now, before I share the screen with you and I start to show you the whole sugar I bring on this topic, I want you to subscribe to our channel. Click also on the button of the bell to receive notifications anytime we update new content. Now, let's go to the screen and let's see this in detail. Well, let's start with the main topic. Factors driving recent gold market volatility. I want to start with the geopolitical factors. We got in number one, Russian-Ukrainian conflict. We have seen how the thing has been getting close to a kind of ceasefire and also an agreement, but so far we have seen how both Ukraine and Russia has been accusing each other to step back after the first negotiations. We have seen also Donald Trump saying that he was not happy with Vladimir Putin, but also on the other hand saying that Zelensky seems to be changing his mind in terms of the rare minerals agreement with United States companies, which is something Donald Trump didn't like it. So he's not happy with the Putin position, he's not happy with Ukrainian and Zelensky position, and therefore we can see how this topic is coming and going back and forward just to cause certain instability on the market, because it will be a positive factor in terms of gold market if there is an announcement of a peace deal. A positive factor for stability, global stability, but on the other hand, if there is no agreement when the expectation was an agreement, therefore is turning on again the gold market, rising the prices up. Russian asset freezer. This is very interesting point because have seen one of the main reasons why emerging countries like China or even another powers like Saudi Arabia has been buying gold the last few years. Since the European Union frozen the Russian assets on Euroclear in Belgium, since then we have seen how many other countries, in Europe, United Kingdom, France has been pushing the idea or trying to promote the idea of use those assets to give to Ukraine and fund the defense of Ukraine, which means in general terms a violation of international rules, especially in financial markets and in terms of taking the assets and the money from another country due to the political situation. China is watching this, Saudi Arabia is watching this and probably thinking, well, today is Russia, tomorrow could be one of us. So no, I don't want to hold my money or my assets in these countries. Therefore, they trying to buy more gold and increase the reserves they have in gold. Middle East instability. That's another topic that we have seen the last few days, how Israel was restarting the war against Gaza, also against Hezbollah, so shouting even to Gaza and to Lebanon, south of Lebanon. But we have seen also crossfire between United States and Yemen. We have seen also Donald Trump accusing Iran of supporting Yemen. He even say that every missile launched by Yemen will be considered a missile launched by Iran. And therefore, we have seen also the threat that Donald Trump has been launched, last week, when he sent a letter publicly to the leader of Iran saying like, well, if they cannot negotiate a new nuclear deal, and therefore they will consider other options, and US could hit Iran in a way that they never have experienced. So again, it's an open threat. Iran, on the other hand, has been saying that they are not ready for negotiations with the United States unless United States apologize in advance from the last legislation from Donald Trump when he broke up the nuclear deal. Therefore, there is no understandable point between both powers. And even more, Iran has been also mentioned the possibility. We have seen reading in Middle East media mainly, we have been reading how they were suggesting the possibility of launch a preventive attack on military bases on US, like for example, Diego Garcia military base, UK and US military base, or even the Qatar military base, United States military base in Qatar, that has been reinforced the position. Now, safe haven effect, just considering all of these factors, gold is still one of the safe haven paradise, and that's why gold is attractive in these cases. Economic and policy impacts, Trump tariff threats. Obviously, unless you have been living in a cave, you know what has been going on the last few weeks in terms of tariffs. Donald Trump has been threatened with tariffs almost every country, and especially big economies, China, European Union, the main ones, because they are the main ones with trade or commercial deficit with the United States. We have been also Federal Reserve rate cuts. Another announcement done by Jerome Powell mentioned a week ago that eventually they will cut twice interest rates this year, 2 times 25 basic points, and therefore if the interest rate gonna drop, the dollar gonna get weaker, and therefore gold becomes more attractive. Central bank reserves, if you see that the Federal Reserve will cut eventually the interest rates, therefore you probably want to keep your value in gold and not in dollar, and that's exactly what is going on in central banks, on the top of all the rest topics mentioned before. The growing demand of gold and also a rigid supply, it's causing what we call like bottlenecks, and then therefore it's probably generating bullish pressure on the price, and that's why we got these charts finally, where you can see the projection of the gold is giving us a target on $3,300. We have seen also how $3,080, which is one of the levels we mentioned in our daily reports. If you are not subscribed, by the way, find them on LinkedIn, Money Talks report, and subscribe to our daily report. You will see that that's one of the price we were mentioned, $3,080. Now the next movement probably is to $3,300. Eventually, if the things are going well, maybe the gold is calming down and then moving back to 3080 or 30 or 3000, mainly rounded, right? Even 2985, 3025, that's the levels. That's the levels that we probably expect in case of retracement of the price. But otherwise, the goal, the target is 3,300. And also, if you want to see in more detail the charts, you got the projections here. You can see clearly how it's a super clean pattern over there, showing us all the movement of the price in an uptrend. And obviously, you can appreciate that $3,080 has a clear support. Touched already last few hours after the tariffs announced by Donald Trump on 2nd April, the day of liberation of America. And therefore, that's why I believe any bullish movement initiated after this retracement is going to take again a gold to a new maximums close to $3,300. That's all. I hope you enjoy our report. And remember, if you like it, give us a thumb up and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next report. Bye-bye.